I'm using AI to plan the layout of my garden. Right, not that AI, but Adobe Illustrator. If you're curious how I'm doing this, look no further. You might be wondering why anyone would need or want to do this. I'm a very visual person and I'm not the most confident in my gardening skills, and I have a tendency to just make things up as I go along. But I bought a bunch of different vegetables this year and I wanted to make sure I had room for everything and I didn't just do a ton of grape tomatoes and forget all these other vegetables and how much space everything needs. So I'm mapping it all out so that everything works out perfectly. A couple of weeks ago, my mom and I built my vegetable garden bed, so I know the exact dimensions. Okay, so I'm using the square foot method, which makes it super simple to map everything out. All you need to do is get some squares, and with smart guides turned on, you can just hold shift and drag these boxes around so everything lines up. Of course, you have to hit option and shift at the same time and then things will line up. If you're not seeing those smart guides, you'll want to go up to view and then turn on smart guides or command U. That's how you're going to quickly make your garden bed layout. This is what I've got going. Now this flag over here is what I've already planted, and so this can't change up. This whole section I'm not adding dirt to this year because this is just my first year. I didn't want to spend so much money on dirt. We're going to do some composting so I can get some dirt that way. So this section I'm not using, that's why that's going to stay blank. But this section over here, I added dirt to it last night so I can fill this space up. And basically what I've been doing is I've just been looking at the square foot ratio for everything. So that's what we've got going. I'm really excited to have more space next year, but I just knew it wasn't in the cards for this year. So what I would do is I would go onto a site like Icon Finder and filter it to free so that you can look for all the free icons you can download. And those are going to download as PNGs. And they have tons and tons of vegetables. Just type in vegetables or the specific fruit or vegetable that you need, and you should be able to find something that works. If you're not finding something there, you can just Google vegetable clip art or vegetable icons and you'll find something. And then you'll just drag everything into your Illustrator document and start placing them into the little squares. What I did was I actually locked all the squares so that I wasn't accidentally clicking on them. You just do that by selecting what you want to lock and then hitting Command 2 to lock it. And then that helped it so that I wasn't accidentally clicking those things instead of the icon. And then for anything that has multiple in a square foot, just put as many that you can do. So 4 green beans, 3 basil, 2 cucumbers. And then since my icons aren't exactly perfect, I actually labeled them so that I knew what it was when I went outside, just in case I forgot. So I think these are actual pickles, but close enough to cucumber. Those aren't even basil, but it's gonna work. And then I don't think these are cherry tomatoes, but I needed to differentiate between the big tomatoes, so that's why I did that. And that's why I had to add all the labels so that I didn't get confused when I was outside. And so then I took a picture of this and went outside and planted it following this guide, which made it super easy to know and not like overthink myself. When you're outside, I would put down a string down the middle and a string in all these sections so that you know where a square foot is. So I took string, tape, scissors, and a ruler out with me so that I can measure everything out. Okay, so I'm back in my garden, and right now what I'm doing is just cutting 2.5 feet of string so I can tape it across. Aw, say hi to Tate coming in to check on what I'm doing. He's so cute. So anyway, so I'm cutting 2.5 feet so I can tape it all across, and then I'm measuring out 12 inches across so that I have my square foot measurements. So this is pretty simple, like it's not really that complicated to figure out. When I was out here though, I did kind of rearrange my layout a bit because I realized that the raspberry and the blueberry probably shouldn't be right next to each other because I think those are both going to get into bigger bushes, so you probably don't want those right next to each other. I don't know what I'm doing, so please don't judge any of this. Tate, leave it. Whew, it's hot. Planning it all out in Illustrator was the way to go because it made things so much more easy for me to just get out there and do what I need to do and not like overthink things and make it all a mess. So I highly recommend doing it this way. If you don't have Illustrator, grid paper will work just as well, but I definitely recommend using the string method. That is a time saver for sure. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this different type of video. Have a great day.